Hey buddies, here's a quick vloggy poo about the new Xbox news. This is not going to be as enraged as many of you are speculating on Twitter. I'm not enraged by what's happening. Let me sum it up. They've just released some clarifications on what they will do with used games and lended games and traded games. Let's get the bad out of the way, because there's been so much bad. And I want to end on a high note. So the bad thing out of this clarification is they have confirmed that Craigslist and eBay aftermarket selling and trading games is basically gone. That's not going to exist, because there is no way. What they have said is that you can give a game to someone once, ever, and then only if that person has been on your friends list for 30 days. And I don't know about you, but if you sell things on eBay or Craigslist, I wouldn't be wanting to friend that person 30 days ahead of time in order to make that transaction. I could see maybe in a fringe scenario that an eBay trader might be a reputable eBay trader. Like, I know one called Pedro Games that I've bought a lot of NES games from. Why'd I advertise for that guy? Anyways, well, they're decent. Anyways, the fact is, like, big eBayers might be like, get on my friends list to have the official trading in list or buying list or something stupid like that. But I doubt, like, that. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, in practice, that's gone. The other thing, once, you can give away games once to a friend. One thing that I saw people speculating is that this is ambiguous enough to say that maybe you can only give it once, and then they can give it once more, and then that person can give it once more, so every one person can give it once. I doubt that that's a kind of a pie-in-the-sky scenario to me. I think that it probably really is that once a license has been transferred a single time, that's it. You can't give the game. And this is physical copies we're talking about. So, that's all the bad. It's kind of exactly what we thought. They have said that DRM is going to be up to the publishers. To be fair, PlayStation has said that the PS4, Sony has said that a similar thing. Publishers can do whatever they want in terms of DRM and transferable licenses. If they want to lock it down so you can never resell anywhere, they can. However, PlayStation is not, for what we know at this point, limiting the number of times you can give a physical copy to someone, nor are they limiting what you can do with it on eBay or Craigslist. If a publisher decides to lock down a game, then that game will become known as, the new Call of Duty cannot be sold, and somebody on Craigslist trying to sell it, somebody will be like, well, fuck you, I know that game can't be sold. Hopefully nobody gets scammed by that. Anyways, so that's all the bad. Where is the good in this? One of the things that they've said was this family sharing. They say that everybody in your house will be able to use the games in your library on the Xbox that you use. Okay, that makes sense, right? You better be able to do that. However, in addition to that, you will be able to access an entire library of games anywhere you log in. We kind of already knew this. They already said that a while ago. And that was part of the scenario where we thought that you would have to go places in order to, or give someone your login to share a game. Now here's the last thing that they said. Your family has complete access to your Xbox library on any Xbox One for up to 10 family members. Meaning that if you want to, your brothers, or heck, if you want your family, your friends, like my good buddy Ben, or Deacon, or Kyle, if I wanted to make them a part of my Xbox family, they might be able to access my library of games. It will limit the use of those physical, like a physical copy. It will simulate a physical copy. So if somebody's playing Halo, if Deacon's playing to Halos over at his house, and I want to play to Halos too, it won't allow me because one copy of Halo is being used between us. However, a simple text of Deacon get off to Halos would, hopefully he would comply, and I would be able to play to Halos. But I also suspect that maybe there's a master of the family who can actually boot people. Here's where it gets sticky, though. First of all, how does Xbox define a family? First of all, why is this positive? Positive because this can potentially be used among a trusted group of friends and, I guess, exploited for your family. you know, you could have a group of friends that if you trust them well enough, you could bring them in and everybody could share this pool of games. You're looking at a core group, right? Because there's probably going to be limitations, such as, what does Xbox consider to be a family? Right now, Xbox considers a family to be whoever has a gold family account. So, limitation number 1, someone has to pay everybody's Xbox Live Gold account. Here's a question as well. Do you have to be Xbox Live Gold in order to use this ability of sharing game libraries? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you can just be a free account. That hasn't been clarified. I could see that being a limitation. They didn't say it was, but who knows. In addition to that, you can probably only be a part of one family. So this... Hey guys, sorry for the cut there, but I ran out of memory on my card. So, back to where I was going. So, the only real positive out of this is this intriguing aspect of sharing a library of games among 10 friends. Have to keep in mind that this still gets rid of schoolyard trading, because anybody who is not basically of credit card age, I guess, isn't really going to be a part of this scenario, because, you know, the school, like, kids are going to be in their family, their Xbox family, and then the other guys are going to be in their Xbox family, and you probably can only be a member of, it stands to reason, one family, so you can't mingle with families to share libraries. So the only real situation this is going to help with is college-age people who are like, hey bro, you want to be in my Xbox family? Be like, yeah, we've been friends for 3 months now, I trust you with my game library. And that speaks to something else. Who owns the games out of that whole family? Is there a master account that owns the library, who controls all the licenses, who decides who gets to trade and sell their games, or whatever, this one transfer of one person to another? That's kind of, again, like, it's going to probably prevent exploitation in that sense, the trust sense. Like, how many really strong groups of friends are out there who would be willing to get into this family scenario? Really what I'm doing here with this thing is just trying to find the positive, and I am a little bit... I think that it'll be a boon to our group of friends. Like, I buy so many games on the show, and Deacon and Kyle have Xboxes. They like to play them, and they don't have to, like, as much as Becky and Ben, they can kind of have more freedom because they're not a part of our long hauls, so they have freedom to kind of play them on their own. So it's almost like, in some ways, if I make them a part of my Xbox family, like a teleporting physical copy of the game. Instead of them coming over to grab, you know, the new Call of Duty that I never played past the first episode that we ever showed it on, instead of coming over to play that, if for some stupid reason they wanted to, they could just boot it up and look at the library of games and install it and start playing. And as long as none of us wanted to play it at the same time, it would be, you know, no downside to that scenario. But again, this is like, I can only see this being something, a fringe benefit for very strong groups of friends who trust each other. Or real families who are in, I guess that's another benefit, is families that are at different locations, like, you know, kids that go off to college, or like, I have family back in Ontario that if I could share it with my little brother Nathan, I would share my Xbox library with him so that he could play too. So there's that benefit, and again, I think I mentioned the other benefit I see as having your entire library in your system, you know, without having to put physical copies in or take them out, or take them to people's places. If you wanted to go there to play a game, you can just bring your login with you to do that. That's a benefit, but it's not a great enough benefit to me to give up resale value, which it basically is, because, you know, for all intents and purposes, well, I've never traded in a game, except when I was really young, to a retailer, and Craigslist and eBay has always been the way for me to go. Nowadays, I just keep every game, so this doesn't really apply to me at all. It's hard to put yourself in other people's shoes when this is related to these issues, but I think that I've kind of closed that up. There was a couple other issues I wanted to touch on. No fee. Microsoft, unlike speculation, says that they will not be taking any cut of this purported fee in the transfer of games among, I guess, official partners like GameStop, who can trade or buy copies and resell copies. And I say official because it still has to be, right? If a copy can only be given away once, that means that there has to be something to override that so that a reseller can resell multiple times. Again, that's sort of still ambiguous. But the fact that they're not taking a fee is interesting. Really, what they're just doing here then is giving publishers leverage over retailers, I would say. It gives them a bargaining chip, because a retailer can, or a publisher can say, if we want top billing in your store, or we want this promotion or that promotion, or you to really, I don't know, whatever, or maybe we won't enable trading at your store. This could be leverage, I could see, in maybe some scenarios. In addition, it gives Xbox potential leverage over PlayStation 4 if they say to publishers, hey, you probably want to be on our system more than theirs, because we have this option of locking down and making sure people can't resell your games. I don't know. This is all speculation. I have no idea. And we don't know, I don't know if I said this in the first half, but we don't know what PlayStation is going to do. They've been ambiguous. They might have a similar thing. They have said emphatically, actually, categorically said that publishers can do what they want. Kind of like on the PC. If a publisher wants, he can lock it down to your system. So they're leaving it in their laps, and I guess in Xbox's case, we could expect EA to probably do this type of thing. And probably Call of Duty would have this type of restriction as well. We'll see. Anything else? Oh yeah, one funny thing I thought was that in the statement they said, quote, when Xbox One is on, you're simply having a conversation in your living room. Your conversation is not being recorded or uploaded, which is funny to me that they had to say that. Isn't it messed up that we're in a day and age where they have to say something like that, that the device you just bought isn't uploading your conversation to anybody? Like, that's the type of stuff you expect to see buried in legal speak, not put up in an FAQ or like some sort of clarification website. One other kind of it's an attitude I don't like to see prevailed. This attitude that everyone has broadband and has access to high-speed internet. 35% of North America still doesn't have access to high-speed internet because of rural communities, or they can't afford it. I guess the can't afford it part, I'm not sure if that enters into this. Like, if you bought a brand new system, no, it still enters into it. A monthly fee, you shouldn't be tied to a monthly fee in order to use a new system. And they are just kind of, they've said that, what was the quote? They said that because every Xbox One owner has a broadband connection, you will be able to use the cloud to make your games more powerful, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But a statement like that really makes it seem as though they think that you shouldn't be buying the system, or that their customers don't have slow internet or don't live in rural areas, or they don't consider people who live in rural areas to be customers anymore. It's kind of a sad trend, and I think it's just one that was inevitable, I guess. But I don't like the attitude that it gives, that, people in rural areas, which is basically all of my family and Becky's family, don't have any consumer power anymore with them. Like, it's like, whatever you want to do, you can do. Like, technically they could still check in and use it in a very minimal way. You have to check in every 24 hours in order to keep this used system going. But I don't know, it's just, I have a qualm with that. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll keep on keeping our ear to the ground on this. I continue my E3 work right now. I love you. Sorry I got rambly at the end. The break in the middle really kind of fucked me up. You should have seen the stuff I recorded before I realized it wasn't recording. It was good. Oh well. See you guys. Love you.